All right. With great pleasure, joining me now is, the great Brian Kilmeade, Fox and Friends co-host, host of One Nation with Brian Kilmeade, and the Brian Kilmeade radio show on Fox News Radio, and all the things he does. I think he's the only guy who works harder than I do.
Well, thank you. I'm in your league.
Brian Kilmeade, catch Brian on Fox and Friends weekdays from 6 to 9 a.m. Did I say that? I don't want to forget a single thing you do.
Absolutely not, because you joined me on Saturday, and you also joined me on the radio last week, so I bothered you a lot. You're 100% right about what you said. The question is the timing. And it harkens back to, I remember George Bush got to the midterms of his second term before he replaced Donald Rumsfeld, and they had a different take. But he said, the theory was, if I make a change right before the midterm elections, it'll show my party I'm panicking. And the party said, you would have helped me a lot if you made the change before the midterm elections, because they did not do well. But you ended up getting Gates in there, did a lot of steadying of the ship. So good a job that he did. Barack Obama asked him to stay on. But, you know, Ron Klain, we don't see much of him. The word is he's running things. Susan Rice, we don't see much of her at all. She knows when she came public, it was a disaster under President Obama, so she keeps a lower profile. But you're absolutely right. At 79 years old, after being in this business for almost 50 years, you would think he would do the right thing, not the left thing.
That's right. That's where...
Not even for Republicans and Democrats.
No, you know what? That's really what I'm driving at. I mean, I am proposing people. They're Democrats. I'm not saying that, as much as I'd love to see it, that they should bring in a supply-side Republican like Arthur Laffer or my buddy Steve Forbes or something like that. No. I mean, look, in the Democratic Party, there are more moderate thinkers who have been right, for example, on inflation and the deteriorating economy. Jay Johnson, by the way, very good Secretary of Homeland Security, would be much better on the border. He has been critical of Biden. You know, you mentioned Bush didn't want to show panic. I think right now the country would like to see Biden panic in some sense, because unless heads roll, nothing changes. And the idea that we have to go through 2.5 more years of this is really, it runs against the American character. We are optimists, but this is a profoundly pessimistic situation.
Absolutely, because the President of the United States has a different tack, the exact opposite, the Putin price hike. The inflation is transitory.
Right.
Don't believe your eyes, essentially, is what's going on. If we pass Build Back Better, even a skinny Build Back Better, it would help the country. When we know fundamentally spending more in a situation like this would not be helpful at this point. More social spending would not be beneficial for the country. What it might do is get AOC and the people that follow her a little bit more amenable, just like the forgiveness of the student loan. What's that for? That's an election gift. I don't care about the people over 35. I'm losing everyone over 18. So I'm going to try to forgive their debt in assuming that that'll buy their vote.
People see right through that.
I hope so.
They see right through that. I mean, look at the other thing that's so extraordinary. I mean, this Mitt Romney piece was so good when he said, get rid of your woke.
And you know why? Because he's been complimentary towards Biden in the past, tries to work with him.
I know, right. So we have all these problems. You know, we have security, war, border, crime, woke in the schools. Here's a problem we don't have: massive existential climate risk. We don't have that problem.
We don't.
Okay? It is the most overrated, overbaked thing. And yet, Brian, as you know, it completely dominates everything the Bidens do. Everything revolves around climate change or woke social policy of equality and social justice with a touch of racism as well. You follow? If you don't change your senior staff, I've been there. If you don't change your senior staff and your cabinet folks, then you're going to continue to make the same mistakes. You're going to lose the country. And I fear we will lose much more than political support.
Right. I mean, when people, and I understand this is what they do for a living, politicians say, well, this continues, it's going to be a great day for Republicans. I want just a great day for the country. Mm-hmm. And I'm worried about the next 6-7 months because of the way things are going. At the same time, in the backdrop is a war that we just put another $800 million into and $2.6 billion in overall. I would like to ask you this question. Where's that money coming from? I am fully in support of Ukraine. I see the bigger picture. But I would like to know where the money's coming from, because I just saw they took out a nuclear submarine that you guys in 2018 greenlighted that could be nuclear weapons that are tactical, that can come from a destroyer, as well as a submarine, that will neutralize a threat that China might give or that Russia might offer. In 2018, it was put out there in front of Vladimir Putin, and now we're not financing it. And I don't know it's because it's a Trump-era situation, or are we sacrificing that for a howitzer for you, the Ukrainians? I'm all for doing that. But I would like to see a policy that is not made up every 2 or 3 days. We had a press conference today at 9:40. What is the plan? This is the Thursday plan to support Ukraine, as opposed to 2 weeks ago, where we weren't going to give them helicopters. Now we found them. We weren't going to give them howitzers. Now we are. Zelensky said, if I had this stuff to start the war, we would have won already.
That's right.
So that's leadership.
That's a key point. That's a key story today, by the by. We have General Keane coming on later in the show to comment on that. Look, I worked for Donald Trump for 3 years. Donald Trump would never hesitate to make personnel changes if he thought...
I know, I heard.
If he thought that people weren't doing the job.
Absolutely. Like at the border.
I'm going to say, I was telling our production team before the show, I was at a cabinet meeting in 2018 where the border story was getting worse and worse, and the president got angrier and angrier. He listened to his Secretary of DHS and his Attorney General, and they had no answers and no plan. And within weeks, they were both gone, okay? And ultimately, the problem was solved, even though the Bidens have unraveled it. We had issues on national security. The president made changes with his defense secretary and with his national security advisor. Some people, on the other hand, you know, on the economic side, the tax cuts and the deregulation and the energy worked. So guess what? Kudlow was at NEC all that time, and Mnuchin was at Treasury, and we managed to stay. But my point is, a little bit of humor.
About production.
I always like a little humor, but the point is, if it's not working, you got to change it. Any good CEO will tell you, if the head of this division and that division is not producing, it's time for change. Biden won't make any changes, and I have politely and with the greatest respect, suggested some changes. All right? I like Larry Summers running the Fed. I'd like to see Jason Furman running the National Economic Council. I'd like to see Jay Johnson running DHS. I just say that as possible examples. But you see what I'm getting at? Don't you think the country wants to see changes? Because obviously this model's not working.
Well, Barack Obama's speaking today, and he's going to talk about how they're just not getting the messaging out.
Lord.
That's the problem. They're not getting the messaging out. And here's the one thing about the border. People have pointed out to me, well, the border was not great under President Trump for a while, but he kept making changes. I went to the border a few times with one Secretary of Defense who was gone 2 weeks later, and with a Border Patrol person who was gone 3 weeks later. But what happened is it was all about production. It wasn't personal. So what happens is, and I'll bring it back to sports. If you have a pitching staff problem and you keep trotting the same people out there, you don't make adjustments, you don't talk to the pitching coach, you don't make rotations, you don't pull someone out of the bullpen, you don't make a trade, then you say to the people, the fans go, wait, this guy, they don't even try to win. Are they even trying to win?
I like that.
As opposed to making a meeting with the press and saying we're doing fine. No, you're 7 games under 500, and there's 12 games left in the season. You're not doing fine. And that's what's happening right now. They are way under 500. What I find heartening is the American people are not being spun by any media. He's got the most compliant media in the history of the presidency.
People see right through.
And he's between 33 and 38%
People
approval.
see right. People are so smart in this country. Last point. I know we're running out of time. I want to go to the Walt Disney story in Florida. Governor DeSantis going to take away their special self-governing tax-free status. What do you make of that?
Passed the House today. There's no drama, no speeches. It passed the state Senate yesterday, as you know, and it's going to be signed. It looks like they will lose their sovereignty status as of June 1st, 2023. There is some bond. They have bonds they have to handle.
Yeah, they got bonds. They got tax receipt issues. But they also have woke issues. You know what I mean?
That's the
what
story.
is Disney doing in a fist fight with a conservative governor of a state where they have a huge investment in? What's that all about?
It's a terrible CEO. He's 61 years old, evidently bent out of shape that Bob Iger stuck around during the pandemic, during the transition. Bob Iger's actually on a yacht with Brian Grazer, having a great time of his life, and Disney's falling apart. And the question is, and you know these guys.
I do know. I know Iger.
Right. And the question is, at 71 years old, does he come back again? Because this guy looks like an epic fail. Remember, you probably don't. So he had a brawl with Scarlett Johansson on the payouts on the streaming story when she was not going to get paid a certain amount of money because things were going to stream instead of going to theaters.
I read Page Six dutifully every single day.
I had no idea.
I love Page
That's right.
6.
The Post is delivered here free. And you do not have to tip the paper boy.
They just ran an op-ed of mine yesterday. So
no, I did read that.
But here's the thing.
But he's making missteps at the highest level.
Disney reacted to a bill that didn't exist. This bill is not about gay people. This bill is about parental input into the education system. It had nothing to do with gay biases, and that was Disney's mistake.
If you're the CEO of a company like that and you can't read a 6-page bill before you make a statement and then come out and apologize for being slow to fight this bill, and I just bring you back to Georgia, they mischaracterized the Georgia reform bill, and they said it was racist to keep black people from voting. It was Jim Crow 2.0. And then out goes Coke, out goes all these sponsors, the All-Star game gets moved, and that's why I think DeSantis went to school on that. And he said, okay, that's not going to happen here.
Tell me, we got to wind up. You confess up. No one's really listening. You go to Page Six and Cindy Adam first. You do. And it's good information.
The problem is, I've seen your ratings. A lot of people are watching and they're listening, although they do listen on Sirius radio. I open up on the sports page still.
Oh, God.
Everything's online. I go sports first.
Especially with the Rangers hot. Thank you, Brian Kilmeade.
Thank you.
There's nobody better. Please catch Brian on Fox and Friends, weekdays every day, 6 to 9 a.m., and on One Nation with Brian Kilmeade, Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern on Fox Business, and on the Brian Kilmeade radio show from 9 to noon on Fox News Radio.
And I'm hosting for Jesse tonight. So at 7. That's it.